Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a friend, little kitty underneath the car, and I appreciate it because she's probably been keeping the mice away all winter, and she's been keeping the mice away out of the garage. But today, I'm gonna get this thing moved off the trailer. So this is a will it start video. It ran last year, and I don't see any reason why it won't this year. The whole idea is getting it off, and I think it's time to move it on. I've owned it for a little while. Long story short, sold it, bought it back, but I just don't think I'm gonna get to it, and I think somebody needs to enjoy it because I gotta put time and energy into this and a bunch of other projects that I have going on around here. So today, we're gonna be firing up the Dakota. In the last video, that was a will it start video. Got that thing moving. I got the rear brake shoes all unseized, and check it out. It's facing this direction and it fires up, no problem. I gotta just air up the tires. I'm gonna put a receiver in there, class 3, back it up to the trailer, pull the trailer out, and then we're gonna put a makeshift battery in there and move it off the trailer. Hopefully it'll start and just get it down and see how it runs. But I gotta get to this. And the reason why I gotta get this thing off the trailer is, let me show you over here. Here is the bed to the Dakota. It's a rust-free bed. As you can see, it's got no rust or dents on it. But anyway, this has to get cleaned up and done. And I need to put it on the trailer. That's what has to get done. There's no other way that I can really get it from point A to B, get it pressure washed, and get it into the garage, other than like hooking a chain to it and dragging it. So that ain't gonna happen. So let's go ahead, get some air on the tires here, back up to the trailer, get the trailer down onto the driveway, get this thing started up, back it down, and find a home for that. Man, it's bright, but it's cold out. Anyway, so there she sits. I got it out, no problem. Kept the Dakota in 2-wheel drive. It pulled it out. It was like, wasn't even there. Anyway, you know, I can remember putting this thing on the trailer. You know, it's like it was yesterday. I think it was last year, but it just seems like it was yesterday. she's been sitting there ever since that day. So, you know, my plan was to make a 924 Carrera GT clone out of this thing. I have all the panels for it, and maybe I'll sell the panels with it. I don't know. I would like to see it go to someone that maybe will do that. I don't know. We'll see. I could sell it like a whole kit and caboodle thing. I've got the Fuchs for it, the 15-inch staggered wheels, beautiful. I really was hoping to do that, but I just don't see it happen. I've got a 944 turbo that need to do some things to. I've got a Mini Cooper S. I've got this thing. As you can see, I've got 7 or 8 motorcycles. I've lost count. All these things for the channel that I want to do for you guys. Anyway, let's see if I got a battery kicking around to put in this thing, at least to keep the poles. You really want to put batteries in these things. I mean, I suppose I could put just a jump pack in there, but I want to put a battery in. Let's see if I've got something. But in the meantime, let me pop the hood on this. So there is a battery in here. I'm sure it's dead, but here is the air filter is missing, but this is the intake. This is the most funky thing. This is that CIS, fuel injection. Now, if these aren't working, forget about it. What happens is, see how tiny these lines are? They get constricted and they get filled up and clogged, especially if you're running the deadly ethanol. And then these lines, they get brittle and break and stuff like that. So when they run good, they're a great little engine. They put out about the same as a naturally aspirated 944 horsepower wise, about 140 or so. All right, let's go see if this is gonna fire up with the jump box. All right, well, I got my jump box hooked up. Found the keys. I got a little nervous there, but they were in the house, you know, in case somebody stole the car. Anyway, so I can't get this off. It's bound up, the cable. So what I'm gonna do is, hopefully if this starts, I'm gonna drive it forward a little bit, unhook it, and then I should be able to back this off the ramp and get it down. Then I'll do a once over so you can see the car and show the inside to you. And I'm having a lot of trouble talking today. Did I tell you I was hit by a car when I was a little kid? True story, actually. Actually, it was more like a truck. Anyway, let's get this thing off and hopefully it starts. Check out the back end of this. Isn't it cool? These are always cool cars. You know, like I said, I'm sad to see it go, but I got bigger and badder things to do. I really think that I should start with, like, if I'm gonna do a 924 Carrera GT project, I should start with a 944. Just hack the rear fenders off and start that way. Anyway, let's get this off. Let's see if it starts. Let's do that. Oh, well, this is dead. Well, that's great. Okay. Well, my jump box is at 25%, so that's never gonna turn this over. Didn't even want to try. So I'm gonna put this on charge, and I'm also gonna take that battery out and put that on charge. So, see you later. Bye. Okay, I've got this on just a 2 amp charge for now. And maybe I'll shock it later with a big old 40 amp rapid charge, who knows. But I just want to bring it around slowly. I'll let it charge for like 12 hours or maybe even overnight at 2 amps. But I'm also gonna take some battery acid. These things are great, that's why I keep them. But I got some old battery acid here. And I'm gonna fill this up in the holes. And these like turkey baster things are great for that. Get these at Harbor Freight. Where did I get this battery acid? Well, before I turn in a whole mess of old batteries for core charges, I sucked out some battery acid and put it in here for occasions like this. Now I know that you can go ahead and just use distilled water, but at the time I didn't have any distilled water, so I just went ahead and took all the old battery acid out and did this. And the idea is this has all the alkaline properties in it. And you just want it just like that. You don't want to overflow this. You can see it just starting to come up to the top. And here's what you want to do. Just leave these caps just sort of like that for safety reasons. But you don't want to like put them on while it's charging. That's why I love these. I don't like the maintenance-free batteries because you can't do stuff like this. Batteries like this are awesome. They're not making too many of these anymore. They have them all sealed off. But these are great because you can do this and then you can check them and you can add. But just leave that off so that the battery can breathe while you're charging it. Well, I have decided to pull it off the trailer for now. And then we'll do a will it start video after I pull it off the trailer. And I'll do that all in editing for you so you don't have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait. But anyway, I need to get this off the trailer so I can use my trailer and get the bed on here and get that all done, but you don't care about that. Ooh, Amish. Got your coffee? I do. Wonder if they have their coffee. Think they drink coffee? I'm pretty sure they do. Why wouldn't they? Anyway, all right, my son's gonna help me. Let's do this. All right, we're back, and it's like 3 weeks later. Yeah, and the weather's awesome, and now it's time to see if this is gonna start. So let's throw a battery that I've had on the tender for like, 3 weeks. Let's see if it's gonna start for me. I kind of doubt it, but no, it should, but let's find out. Come on, let's go, come on, let's go. I'm yelling at you guys, but it's not really your fault. It's my fault. I have to first, I can't just, yell at you and expect this thing to do it on its own. And So I gotta get a battery in here because there's none in it. So let's go grab the battery. Okay, here's the deal. So, from what I remember, the guy before me, he put a fuel pump right here. So, let's see if it runs. Yep, it's running, and I think it leaks. So, all right, we got that. So, I got to remember to turn that on. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Now, if this thing doesn't start, I'm going to have to tow it. I'm going to have to push it over there because it's in my way. And then we're going to have to make another video some other time and get this thing running. But for now, will it start? Yes or no? Here's the answer to the question. Clutch in, neutral, fuel pump on. There we go. We just got to get that fuel up to the rails. Turning over really slow. Come on. I don't think there's any fuel in this. All right, let me see what's going on back here. You were running last year. That's great. Look at that. That's not even bolted down. Look at that. Holy crap. All right, we're gonna try to put some gas in this. I think that any gas that it had in it has evaporated. So let's turn this fuel pump off before we burn it out. The cranking is very slow. It's not gonna be enough to start this thing. These kind of cars, really any kind of car nowadays, but these cars in particular, European cars, they need that full cranking power to get them to start. And yeah, I mean, I can't even really smell any fuel in this gas tank. So we're gonna go ahead and put some gas in it and try it again. I don't know why my jump box isn't really working, so we might have to, we'll pull the Dakota over here, help rectify this thing. Okay, I got a couple gallons in there now, so let's see what happens. I do have my jump box on there and my charger, so let's see what happens. Still might not be enough. Fuel pump. Oh, I can hear, oh, it was out of gas. I could hear the difference already in the fuel pump. Here we go. Yep. It's gonna run, guys. Come on, baby. Yeah. The gas just evaporated. That gives you an idea of just when you have so very little gasoline, because this drove onto the trailer, I think early last year, little in the tank. It just all evaporated. See if the horn works. Here's the relay. Here's the turbo. You know, there's a lot of things that Porsche got wrong with these cars, but there's one thing I can show you that they got right. Check this out. Fuel filter right here. Isn't that nice? Easily accessible. Let me show you something that they got completely wrong. Good for its time, but bad for its time. And when they go wrong, they're bad. The kid I got this back from, he might have rebuilt this, and that's why it's not bolted down, and he probably wanted to just see if everything would run. He might have taken it apart, cleaned it and stuff, but this. All right, she died. I had to hurry up and jump in here and turn off that fuel pump because it's not running with the relay. So I don't want to flood the engine out. I'm not very proficient on that whole CIS, whatever they're called, CIS, fuel injection systems, but they're pretty crude. The fuel lines are very tiny and they clog easily, and they're just a pain in the butt. Let's move this car and get it parked and out of my way. Tell you what, the brakes, the clutch feel really solid. Everything feels really good on the car. I bet you it would probably drive down the road really good, but I'm not gonna chance it. Cooling fans just kicked on. And it stalled out, but oh, I gotta go kill the fuel pump. Well, holy cow, man. I think I promised you guys a look in the interior, so let me show you. Let's start with the gauges here. So the cooling fans kicked on right at about center, which is awesome. So this car runs nice and cool, and it's saying 44,000. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I'll bet you that these are notorious for the gears breaking inside. It's saying 44,000 original miles, but who knows? Maybe I didn't notice if this was moving at all. It could be original, but I'll bet you it's pretty darn close. As you can see, you know, need some help. We got the typical cracked dashboard. This is for these. These go right here, and this is broke, but they do sell these online. These end up getting just perished. You guys notice anything? Audi symbol? Yep. If you don't know about these cars, just check it out. I'm not gonna get into it, but let's check out in here. Oh, not bad. Usually mice like to live in here. And check this out, this swings out of the way. There's where you put your key. Alrighty. We got our controls, and many people have to go online and Google how to use this, but this controls your defrost, and then this will control the floor. And then obviously that's your cooling and your heat. You got your AC. Oh, okay. It's working because I have my accessories still on. Holy cow, I wasn't expecting that. Clock. Don't know if it works. We got our turbo gauge. This is for the rear. I wonder if I have my GoPro hooked to that. I wonder if it works. Nothing's happening. And look at this old Blaupunkt cassette player. That's really old. This is like late 80s right here. This right here is your speaker fade, and that's to the front, that's to the back. The door cards are really nice actually. Oh, and I did check the mirrors worked and the windows worked. In fact, they were really quick actually. Up not so much, but down really fast. And the car's not running either, so we're just running off that battery, which is not the greatest right now. Oxygen sensor. Yeah, this actually has an oxygen sensor light on it because, again, this is a turbo car and it has a complex brain on it, which actually lives underneath there. And this thing has a lot of thinking to do to make it run right, hence why these cars just weren't very popular, especially to work on. And it's got the notorious ripped seats right here. But again, it's not that bad. It could clean up pretty good. You guys know what these are? These are for cassettes. That's right. You take them out of the holders and you put the cassette itself in here. Here's our ashtray, and this pops right out. There you go. And then you got your, right here, these are actually sometimes blank. They're blank, you pop these out. But because this car has options, see, here's a blank one right here. This is, oh, here's for the rear wiper. I wonder if it works. It does. I turned it off though because I didn't want to. It does. All right, I'm not gonna touch it. This is for the wipers here, but nothing happened. These probably work only when the car is running. The horn will only work when the car is running, and this probably only work if the car is running, the wipers. So that was funny that worked. This, I'm not sure what that is for. That toggles between something, and this is for the mirrors. And the, where's the switch to run those? Okay, here's the switch to run the mirrors. And then you switch over here to run that one. Still working. Here we have our dome light, and I actually have a light for this. I actually have I have so many parts for these cars, you guys. Let's take a look at the headliner. And their headliner, Porsche is not known for quality, their interior quality stuff. You know, they're a driver's machine, really. They're meant for driving, I guess they say. But look at that, that's all it is, and it's glued to the metal. That's it. This is a panel, and right above it is basically a fiberglass panel. That's it, the target top. This target top is removable, and then on the 944s, depending on what year, there's a button here that retracts this with a motor. These here, you gotta check these. These are your drainage ports. They go all the way down. There's 4 of them. There's one there, and then there's 2 on the other side behind me. They go down your A and your B and your C, not your B, but your C pillar for drainage. And sometimes you'll get water pouring in and everything, and these could be plugged on any car. That goes for any car, you guys. So check these. If you have a moonroof that slides, check these. Make sure there's no debris. I think that's a beautiful thing. These are the manhole cover D slots, I believe. Yeah, so this is not metal. This is a fiberglass. I'm sorry it's all washed out, but I'm not gonna pop this because I don't feel like getting the key. 924 turbo. There's the air filter. But as you can see, it's really a rust-free car. It's in really good condition. It's just a beautiful car. I love the shape of these things. It's a beauty. Let's take one more look underneath the hood, okay? So we have our little Bosch emblem here. I do have a parts car out back. You guys probably have seen maybe in my other videos with a nice hood that, you know, for whoever the next owner may be, I will let that go with. Well, you guys, another timeless classic. I hope that can be saved by someone that's gonna enjoy it. Maybe turn it into that clone, because I'd like to sell off everything with it, you know? It'd be pretty cool. Somebody that maybe has the same dream that I once had to get this thing going and doesn't have too many projects is gonna stay laser focused on a car like this. It's just, there's too much going on for me right now that I don't have the time. So anyway, as usual, thank you so much for sticking around on this one. Gotta get back to the Dakota. I gotta get that going. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the ring-a-ding, you know, all that good stuff. Let's make a deal. You wanna trade for something? Who knows? Do you have a Subaru Outback with no head gasket issues? I didn't think you did. Well, I mean, I think you have one, but you know, not one that doesn't overheat. All right. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.